Okay, so I just fast forwarded the intro because I'm like, dude, let's just get to this, right? Because I'm already a little bit late and we have a lot of questions to answer. Greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday morning live stream of week 16 of the 2023 fantasy football season. After watching back yesterday's live stream, I don't sound as bad on live stream than I do in real life. In my own head voice, I know I sound awful, but I'm improving slowly every day. We're getting better. For the next 2 hours, I'll be answering as many questions as I possibly can in regards to week 16. As you guys can see to the right side of the screen, we have updated rankings as of this morning for the players who have yet to play. So if you have any questions in regards to interpositional rankings, in regards to my top 36 running backs, wide receivers, top 16 quarterbacks, and tight ends, be sure to check those out because they are on the right side of the screen. As we typically do every single Sunday, it is usually a live stream from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I have been sick horribly over the course of this entire week, starting Tuesday night, and I'd like to say that it's been the worst, whatever the heck bug this is, I've ever had. I mean, I have been bedridden for a while now. Pittman is out. Okay, thank you. I knew there was somebody I was forgetting because I removed Foreman. Who else did I also remove? Wait, is Pittman actually out? I removed Foreman and I removed Zay Jones. Michael Pittman, let's see here. Is he actually out? Ruled out after concussion setback. All right, very well. I'll adjust that in a second right now. Let's go ahead and let's do that first and foremost. I appreciate that. Yeah, I know that this morning, Deontay Foreman was ruled out, so I moved up Roshan Johnson a considerable amount. I also obviously had to move up Khalil Herbert because both those guys are implicated to get themselves a pretty good share of touches, especially against Arizona, which is not a great run stop defense. Zay Jones is out. I can't explicitly say like, oh, Parker Washington or Jamal Agnew is going to be significantly better, but I do know that Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram with Trevor Lawrence there are significantly better plays. How much significantly better? No, I don't think they're like jumping 10 ranks, but I think that I'm just far more confident in their potential, especially considering the target shares that they've had as of late. Let me remove Michael Pittman out of this entire deal real quick. Let's see here. So who's the next wide receiver up on the list? If there's no MPJ. So if there's no MPJ, we move, boom, into this conversation. So let's do that really quickly. Let's move him, boom. Move him, boom. Are we good from that? Yeah, we're good from that. Okay, let me go ahead and let me just adjust the rankings on screen. And then once I've done that, I'll get to answering questions. In terms of the energy levels, they're probably not going to be at the same, I guess, existence to where they're typically at from me. I'm going to be a little bit more mellow because I don't want to lose my voice midway through this live stream. Or I just want to make it less painful than it already is. So yeah, keep that in mind. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Happy holidays to everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope, the 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend, New Year's, all that kind of jazz treats everyone well. Thank you. Okay, so I've changed the first graphic on screen that you can see. I believe Michael Pittman Jr. should no longer be on screen. Now that that's the case, let me go ahead and let me change my kicker and defensive visuals real quick. Save as JPEG. If anything else changes over the course of today's live stream, of course I'll be sure to address it, and then we'll of course change the rankings on screen and we'll be good to go. All right, outside of that, I believe, let's make sure this photo make sure the Photoshop file doesn't kill me. Alrighty. Here we go. So, getting to answering questions, shall we? From the very top, we begin with James. James Malfatti sends in a question. Thank you, James. Says, hope you're feeling better. Baby steps, but I appreciate that, James. Greetings and salutations and Merry Christmas. Quick question. In a standard scoring league, I'm leaning towards Chuba Hubbard over David Montgomery. You? Off of sheer volume of opportunity of touches, I'm okay with it. Off of sheer matchup, I'm okay with it. The only issue that I ever have with Chuba Hubbard in comparison to David Montgomery is potential scoring of a touchdown. And considering the offense that, of course, David Montgomery is associated with, I would say he has a higher potential for touchdown upside. But if I was just looking at the two prospects as a whole in a standard scoring format, and then I was going to say, hey, if we were to implicate neither of them to score a touchdown, who's going to score more points? I would say Chuba Hubbard probably scores more points without a touchdown rather than David Montgomery. But I know that David Montgomery has the higher potential for touchdown upside considering the offense. So I typically lean in his direction, but I don't mind playing Chuba Hubbard in that circumstance. Thank you. Dude, I'm in pain. Okay, moving on. Chris All In sends in a question. Says full PPR, start 2 wide receivers. Collins, Ridley, Njigba, Lamb, Godwin. High risk, high reward is necessary due to projected minus 18 points. CeeDee Lamb has to play, and I think it's then just between Chris Godwin and Calvin Ridley. Can I trust Calvin Ridley in the absence of Zay Jones to be that much better than Chris Godwin? If he scores a touchdown, sure. But what kind of scoring format is this? Full PPR? I'd probably just play Godwin there. I'd probably just go Lamb and Godwin. I think those are the safest plays that have... Actually, yeah, look, those are the safest plays that also have potential for upside. If you're looking for the high risk, you just play Lamb with Ridley. Thank you, Chris. Andre Turner says full PPR. Pick 2 flex, Singletary, Jaden Reed, Curtis Samuel, and Terry McLaurin, also with Noah Brown. Okay. Between those options, if Jaden Reed's playing, I want him in my lineup. I'll also take Devin Singletary there. Thank you. Alrighty, real quick. Let me just go ahead and do something real quick here. What the heck is that? Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Where is this? Occasionally, I'm going to disappear off screen just so I can hack a lung, and you don't have to witness it. So I'm doing it out of your benefit. Thanks. Appreciate it. So yeah, Andre Turner. I'll take Singletary and Jaden Reed there. If Jaden Reed is not active, I would then pivot to playing probably Terry McLaurin alongside of Devin Singletary. Thank you. KP sends in a question. Says Joe Flacco, Geno Smith, or Kyler Murray? Currently on screen, I have it set as, what is it? Kyler, Geno, Flacco in that order. Boom, boom, boom. In a 4-point per passing touchdown league. In a 6-point per passing touchdown league, I'd probably have it Geno, Flacco, Kyler. Thank you. KP sends in a follow-up question. Says Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Jacoby Myers, or JSN. Pick 2 in a standard. In a standard scoring format, I would probably end up playing McLaurin and JSN. As for... Actually, no, I probably go McLaurin and Garrett Wilson. I don't want to get too cute with the JSN play. As for your follow-up question of that, KP, Bijan, Zeke, Jonathan Taylor, or Chandler, I just play JT and Bijan there. Thank you. Nels Santiago sends in a question. Says, hope you're feeling better, bro. Listen, I'm trying. I appreciate it, though. PPR need 1. Aaron Jones, Ty Chandler, Nico Collins. I don't really want to play Nico Collins against Cleveland, especially with Case Keenum at quarterback. I know, yeah. I don't trust it against that secondary. As of the other available options in a full PPR, I'd probably just rather play Aaron Jones. Thank you. Yeah, Aaron Jones against Carolina is a pretty good matchup. Be Grateful sends in a question. Says full PPR. ETN, Henry, Taylor, pick 1. Yeah, it's Taylor. Follow up, DJ Moore, Ayuk. In a full PPR, I'd rather have DJ Moore. Thank you. Be grateful. Appreciate it. No pressure. Says full PPR. Wait for Jacobs or Achan or Chandler. Wait for Jacobs. Achan or Chandler. I think the risk is high enough to where I'd be willing to take it. But considering your alternative options, I'd feel perfectly comfortable just playing Achan and not really worrying about Jacobs. But I will say, they already deemed Michael Mayer out. The Raiders did. And the fact that they didn't already deem Jacobs out leads me to believe that they could have already done so if they wanted to, and that he will be playing tomorrow. So if it's me, I just leave Jacobs in my lineup and I let it ride. Alrighty, I'm coming back. Where the heck is it? There it is. Okay, sorry. Moving on. Let's see here. We had a question that came in from Anthony Barrett. Thank you, Anthony. It says happy holidays. Thank you. Happy holidays to you guys as well. PPR, Nico Collins or Chris Godwin? Yeah, I feel very comfortable playing Chris Godwin there. Thank you. Jerry Mendoza says full PPR. Start Baker or Justin Fields? Yeah, I greatly prefer Justin Fields, especially against Arizona's defense. Like, I understand Baker at home, the momentum he's coming off of against Green Bay last week, but I think Justin Fields, the rushing upside, the capabilities there, on top of that, takes on going from playing against Cleveland in Cleveland to playing against Arizona in Chicago, I think there's a huge advantage there for Justin Fields this week. Joey Boy says, half PPR. I need one flex. Flowers, Collins, or Roschon. I'd probably play Flowers there. Christopher Slender sends in a question, says, pick 2, half PPR. Achan, Njoku, McBride. That's a really good question. If I'm not mistaken, I think I have... Yeah, no, it's not even a question. I do have McBride and Njoku both ranked higher than Achan this week. Thank you. A couple reminders for those of you who are joining us this morning. Welcome. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy holidays. For the next hour 45, I'll be answering questions. A couple reminders. If you're going to send in a question, please do me a favor and include your scoring format. Also, do not forget, the rankings that are on screen are updated as of this morning. If we want to get kicker and defensive rankings filtered in there, let's try to get to, there's about 700 of us in here. Let's try to get to 300 likes if we can. I'm going to go open up my own live stream and click the like button on that. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Let's go ahead. I'm 131. Perfect. Appreciate it. Okay, we had a question that came in from Anthony Barrett again, who says Broncos, Bears, or Colts defense. I'll take the Broncos there. Thank you. Richard Oliveira sends in a question, says Baker or Trevor Lawrence, Ridley or Montgomery, Bears or Broncos. I currently have Broncos over Bears. I have Trevor over Baker, and Ridley or Montgomery. In a full PPR, I'd rather have Ridley. In a half standard, I think Montgomery's a safer play. Thank you, Richard. Brian the Lion says, Merry Christmas. Half PPR, Roschon Johnson or Alec Pierce? I think I'd rather just play Roschon Johnson. The issue that I have with the potential of Michael Pittman Jr.'s absence is even last week, once he left the game, I know they ran the ball a bunch after he got injured, and in that second half, they ran the ball like 20 times in that game in a row or something like that. He didn't really, Gardner just targeted his tight ends, and that's what scares me. And especially considering they're playing against Atlanta's secondary, they have a good secondary. AJ Terrell is not a bad cornerback, so I don't think this helps Alec Pierce. Now, it doesn't mean he won't get target opportunity. I just don't know if he has the capabilities like Michael Pittman Jr. to take on number one coverage like that. So for right now, I'd lean towards playing Roschon in the absence of Deontay Foreman. Thank you. Rambler Man says, questions in the chat. Hope you're feeling better, Doc. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, Rambler Man, let's see where you're at. It says half PPR, I have Njoku. Stack with Flacco or Lawrence instead. Also, can you rank Swift? Okay, yeah. So I'd rather just play Lawrence. I think the matchup against Tampa Bay is just too easy, to be honest. If you want to stack him with Flacco, you can, but I just prefer Lawrence. That's what I'll tell you for now. As for your other question, ranking Swift, Smith, Walker in order in a half PPR. Yeah, let me go ahead and find my flex rankings. Where is Devontae Smith in comparison? Okay, so Smith, Swift, and Walker. Okay, so I currently have it in a half PPR as where the heck is Kenny Walker? Kenneth Walker 1, DeAndre Swift 2, Devontae Smith 3. Thank you. Appreciate it. Moving on from Rainbow Man's question, we have Will Clapp, who says, PPR need 2, Montgomery, Achane, Jacob / Zamir. Yeah, I'll take Jacobs under the assumption that he's going to play. And I'll probably pair him up with Montgomery. If you're worried about Jacobs, I mean, I honestly wouldn't be at this point. Again, they would have already deemed him inactive. There's no reason for them to mess around. So I would just go Montgomery and Jacobs there. Thank you. Moving on with Terry R's question, who says, Roschon Johnson, T.Y., or as in just Ty, I think that's Ty Chandler, or K9 with injury, leaning towards Roschon. Roschon has the most potential, but the issue is the volume of design runs that they've had for Justin Fields does dig into his work. For right now, I'm going to play K9 there. Like, I know he was limited over the course of the week, but he's still the best back, and he still is going to get the most volume of opportunity most likely this week out of the bunch. And he has just as good of a matchup, I would say. They're definitely both in the top 5 there. So I'm leaning towards K9. If you want to play Roschon, I wouldn't blame you. G-Mini Christmas. G-Mini Christmas. All right, moving on. We had a question that came in from Bruce Cowdrey. Thank you, Bruce. It says PPR play 2. Dobbs, JSN, Noah Brown. Ooh, as of right now in a full PPR, I'd probably feel more comfortable playing with JSN and Noah Brown. I don't think Dobbs has done anything in the last couple weeks to make me feel confident about any of his play. So I'd lean towards playing JSN and Noah Brown there, Bruce. Thank you. Christian Karana sends in a question. Says, Goff or Lawrence? I prefer Goff. Follow up Ridley or Chuba. Do I have? Let me see who I have ranked higher in a half PPR. And then, I know in a full PPR it'd probably be Ridley, but let's see here. Chuba. In a half PPR, I have Chuba ahead of Ridley. In a full PPR, I have Ridley ahead of Chuba. So approach with it as that. Thank you. Richard Oliveira says, flex Derrick Henry, James Conner, Jerome Ford, Sutton, or Diop. I'd probably just lean towards playing Derrick Henry. If it was yeah, I'd probably go Derrick Henry in like a half standard. I'd consider playing like D-Hop in a full PPR. I just don't know if I can trust Ryan Tannehill. That's the issue that I have. I know they're going to run the ball. I know he'll have a pretty good volume of opportunity, and that's why I like Henry there. But yeah, I don't know if I can trust Ryan Tannehill to get the ball in the direction of D-Hop consistently. So that's where I'm going as right now. All right, let's see here. Ethan Liveslay sends in a question. Let me see if I can find your question, Ethan. Ethan, there wasn't anything attached to your question. So if you can, just type in the chat. It'd be greatly appreciated. Reuven Roberts says, happy holidays, full PPR, Waller or Kraft? And now that Pittman is out, Downs or Addison? I'd still rather play Addison. As for Waller or Kraft, if Reed is out by any chance, before we get to kickoff, I'd rather play Kraft. Otherwise, it's Waller. Thank you. Question from Josie, who says full PPR. Who do I add in the flex? Reed, Wicks, or Antonio Gibson? Yeah, assuming Reed's playing today, he would be the play. Thank you. Daniel Barnes says, happy NFL Sunday, full PPR, Garrett Wilson or Bijan Robinson. If it was Zach Wilson playing quarterback, I'd say Garrett Wilson immediately, but considering it's not and it's Trevor Siemian, I'd just rather play Bijan Robinson there. Ghost sends in a question, says full PPR flex, Javonte Williams, Ty Chandler, Demario Douglas, Noah Brown, or Parker Washington. Out of those available options, none of them are like the greatest plays of all time. So, I mean, I'd probably just rather play Ty Chandler out of the bunch. That's probably the direction I would go with if it was my team. Thank you. Carlos sends in a question. I've never seen that last name in my entire life. Zubi Zareta? That's an interesting one. That's actually a pretty nice last name. I mean, I would assume people call you Zubi, but I think that's a good nickname. Either way, Zubi. Merry Christmas Eve. Thank you. Pick 2 wide receivers: Sutton, Reed, Godwin, London. Out of those 4, it would be Godwin and it would be Reed. Also, I have a running back, Chris McCaffrey and Montgomery. Tight end is Laporta. Should I flex Njoku or Swift? I would rather flex Njoku. Thank you. Have a good one, man. Shane sends in a question. Let me see where Shane's question went. Also, Ethan, still looking for your question whenever you get a chance to type it in the chat. Ethan Livesay. Or Livesay, excuse me. All right, so now that we've taken care of that, Shane's question is, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, Devontae Adams, need to in a PPR? Merry Christmas. Between those 3, I would take Devontae Adams and I would take Kenneth Walker. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tommy T says full PPR. Trailing in semis. Need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex. We have Gibbs. We have Montgomery, Ayuk, Metcalf, Flowers, Collins, Hawkinson, McBride. Merry Christmas and good luck. If Tyreek doesn't play, you need 1 more wide receiver. Okay, cool. So Tyreek is expected to play. That's at least the report that initially came out earlier today. So I'm not too worried about him. As for the 4 other players that you would need, Ayuk is that wide receiver. Gibbs is the running back. The tight end is McBride. And the flex is Metcalf. If Tyreek somehow, some way is out, if he's somehow, some way out, then you just play Flowers as the other wide receiver. Actually, no. If somehow, some way he's out, you would play Metcalf over him, and then you'd flex Montgomery. Okay? Thank you, Tommy. Appreciate it. Little Boy Blue says, should I still roll with Kyler over Flacco? I would say, Little Boy Blue, considering you've asked me that in 3 times in the last, not 3 times, maybe twice in the last 24 hours, I would say it seems like you want to play Flacco. And if it takes me saying that I'm okay with it to give you the confidence, then let's ride with it. In my most important league today, I have Joe Flacco as my starting quarterback. And we're pushing to the finals. And I guarantee you he gets me there. So if you're worried about Kyler, just fire up Flacco. Because I think he'll be able to deliver. Thank you. For a second there, like the camera wouldn't turn off. I was like, what the heck? I'm trying to go hack along, baby. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see here. After Tommy T's question, after Little Boy Blue, we had Dylan, who says, happy holidays. Thank you, Dylan. Full PPR start 2 between Hall, Bijan, and Taylor. Hall, Bijan, Taylor. As of right now, it would be Taylor and Bijan. I think if Hall had a better line, it wouldn't even be a question. But look, I talked about it earlier on Tuesday. Running backs against Washington have killed them all season long. Like every running back is dominated. But the issue is a lot of them do it on the ground. And I don't know if Bijan's capable of doing that with his absolute just hodgepodge of an O-line. So for right now, I just lean towards the other two, Taylor and Bijan. Thank you. Ethan Liveslay had sent in another super chat in order to fix. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ethan. Liveslay says Waddle, Ridley, Achane. Between those three, I'd prefer to play Waddle. I go Waddle, Ridley, and Achane in that exact order if it was my team. Geno or Flacco, I prefer Geno. Trey sends in a question. It says full PPR. Need an RB2 and a flex. Ayuk, Brees, Bijan. I go with Bijan and Ayuk. Thank you. Andrew Clark says, morning, hope you feel better. Thank you. I'm down 43.7 points. I have Henry, Montgomery, Achane, Nico, Addison, Sutton, Godwin, Kelsey, McBride. High upside, I have Lamar and Bears, along with Cairo Santos. Pick 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and a flex. We need high upside, huh? I'd probably just play Addison, Sutton, and Godwin as your 3 wide receivers. I'd probably end up going Henry and Montgomery as your 2 running backs. McBride as your tight end. And I'd probably flex Achane. Thank you. Happy sends in a question. Happy says McBride or Laporte at a full PPR. I prefer McBride at a full PPR. Flex either over Devontae Smith. I would flex both of them over Devontae Smith. Thank you. Three minutes ago, Jada Reed will not play. Okay, let me go update the rankings real quick. What else do they have here? Okay. I'm just trying to survive, guys. I'm just trying to survive. That's it. I'm just trying to survive. All right, so let's go ahead and let me just update the rankings on screen real quick. Let's get rid of Jaden Reed. He is no longer active or potentially active. And then we can do this, and then we'll go. Wait, what the heck just happened? Okay, cool. I'm about to say, what the heck is that? All right, cool. So that's that. I think Tucker Kraft is a better play than Waller now. So whoever asked me that earlier, play Tucker Kraft over Waller. Thank you. And I think we're good to go there. Okay, so let me just update these rankings real quick. Okay. So that's set. Now I just need tight end and quarterback to be updated real quick. And then we're good to go. Reminder, 300 likes, and I'll be more than happy to share with you guys kicker and defense rankings, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jeez, man. My energy is so low, it is ridiculous. I'm gassed and I've done nothing but sleep. Can you imagine that? That's the reality I live in. I'm just gassed out from sleeping. Jeez. What a reality. What a reality check. More actually, you know what? I messed up. I was supposed to update the tight end rankings. I got distracted. 1 second. I was supposed to move up Tucker Craft. Just a slight bit here. Come on, hurry up, graphic. Save so I can save you permanently here. Boom. Save as copy. JPEG. Boom. Save. Yes. Okay. Close. Okay, so I believe the rankings on screen should be up to date. They are. Okay, we're good to go. Alrighty. Moving on. So after Happy's question, we had Stallion Productions, who sends in a question and says, Jets or Eagles defense? Jets or Eagles defense? I have the Eagles ranked higher. Kenneth Walker or Nico Collins? I'd rather play Kenneth Walker. Thank you. Frank Lucero says, standard, I need 2 wide receivers and 1 tight end. I have Jefferson, Addison, Cooks, Myers, Hawkinson, Ferguson. Worried about starting too many Vikings? I wouldn't be. In your situation, I think I might just I would. I'd play Addison, Jefferson, and Hawkinson. I'd make sure that all of the receiving work in that game goes to your team, so that if, just in case a touchdown goes to the let's say for example, you're worried about playing 3 Vikings, you start Jefferson and Hawkinson, and Addison goes off again on your bench, like that would be a disaster. At least this way, if they all start, you're getting all the points, and I'm sure this is going to be a nice little back and forth shootout. I see that we surpassed 300 likes. I'll go ahead and change the rankings. Boom, there you go. There's kickers and defenses. Thank you. Dallas sends in a question. Dallas says, do I start Jaden Reed or Ty Chandler? The question's been answered for you now. Now that Jaden Reed is out, you play Ty Chandler. Thank you. We had a question that came in from Raj. It says Sutton or James Conner. I think regardless of scoring format, I play Cortland Sutton there over James Conner. Denver defense or Cleveland, I prefer Denver's. Thank you, Raj. Appreciate it. Let's see here. FB Sanchez says start 4 out of Hall, Saquon, Bijan, Gibbs, McBride, and Njoku. Okay. If I'm starting 4 of these players, I'll take Gibbs, Bijan, McBride, and Njoku. Thank you. Cleo Delatorre says Nico, Wicks, Downs. Oh, you know, I didn't even move Wicks up my board. Hold up. Jeez, my brain is lagging. That's what I needed to do. I need to move Dontavion Wicks up. A pretty considerable margin, too. All right, now let me go ahead and save this. Save as copy, JPEG, quarterback tight end, boom, boom. Okay, and then save this one. Yeah, Dontavion Wicks moves up a pretty considerable margin, to say the least. But I think it's warranted in the absence of Jaden Reed. Okay, we're good to go. Thank you for your patience. All right, moving on. So let's get back to that question. So you said Nico, Wicks, or Downs? Play 2? It would be Wicks and Nico. Thank you. Appreciate it, Cleo. Mike Will says, Up 10 projected PPR semis. Was wondering if you could elaborate why Montgomery over Elliott based on volume. And what does it say? Matchup? I think it's just upside of the offense itself. Is there any new updates? No. Okay. The issue that I have with Zeke is that it was just literally one drive where like he gets yoinked a touchdown. Otherwise, he played 87% of the snaps. The primary reason why Montgomery sits as high as he ever does is because we know he's going to get like 12 to 15 overall attempts, maybe 1 or 2 receptions if he's lucky. So he's going to get himself like 17 touches in a game. He'll get the yardage he needs. And when you compare the Lions and then the, of course, Patriots offense, I think the Lions are significantly more equipped to score touchdowns or at least put themselves in the best position to score. So as much as I like Zeke, his target potential, I think in a full PPR, it could be justified to play Zeke over him under the assumption that Zeke's going to get himself 6 receptions, which he did it last week. I think he had like, 5? Almost a touchdown's worth of receptions there, which of course David Montgomery doesn't really get much of a share of. But yeah, in terms of touchdown upside, like in a half PPR, that's why I lean in the direction of playing Montgomery, because the offense is just more equipped to get him into situations to score. Thank you. All right, let's see here. We had a question from Nico, who says Achane, Collins, or Montgomery in a full PPR flex. I want to play Achane. I think I just lean towards Montgomery. I want to play Achane, but I don't know how, I don't know if he's going to be at a full capacity. I heard that earlier this week in a press conference, Mike McDaniel said like he's been dealing with injuries. In the coming weeks, he'll be at a more full capacity. From those comments alone, I probably just lean towards Montgomery because I don't know if he's at a full capacity as of yet. Let's see here. Andrew Mitchell says, your voice, man. Yeah, it's cooked. I know. Full PPR pick 2. Pollard, Addison, Jonathan Taylor, Ayuk. I'd probably play Taylor and Pollard. Let me look at my full PPR rankings real quick. Full PPR flex. Taylor, Pollard, Ayuk. Yep, in that order. Pollard and Ayuk are in the same tier, so if you want to play Ayuk over Pollard because you have a good feeling, I have no problem with it. But Taylor's the must start out of the 3. Thank you. All right, we had a question that came in from what? What is we took care of that. We're good to go. We had a question that came in from Matthew Wallace. Let me see if I can find it, Matthew. Matthew, your question was Javonte Williams, Roschon Johnson, Jaden Reed, half PPR flex. Okay, so considering I need an upside play, I think I'd still play Javonte Williams there. Like, Javonte is going to probably get himself somewhere between 17 to 20 touches today. I would hope that he can fall into the end zone. I'd lean in his direction. I just play Javonte there over the bunch, obviously, because Jaden Reed's obviously out this week. Thanks. Appreciate it, Matthew. All right, let's see here. Let me just close this so I can hack along real quick. Yeah, this is not fun. This is not a fun experience. Moving on. We had Big Rich who says receivers are Lamb, Waddle, Smith, and Ayuk. Okay. Running backs are Walker, Jacobs, and Pollard. Okay. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex. Okay. Cool. I'm confused though. So we're basically just sitting one player out of the bunch, is what you're saying. Because if I'm playing Lamb, I'm playing Ayuk and I'm playing Waddle. And then it's between Walker, Devontae Smith, Jacobs, and Pollard. I'm probably just sitting Devontae Smith, and I'm starting the rest. Thank you, Big Rich. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see here. We had a question that came in from Berlin B. Thank you, Berlin. Says McBride or Pollard in the flex in a standard. In a standard scoring format, I'd rather play Pollard. I think the receptions absolutely carry McBride, considering his volume of touches. Sergeant Testicle says Baker or Trevor in a 6 point per passing touchdown league. Oof, that's a good one. 6 point per passing TD. Man, Rashad White has been yoinking touchdowns on the ground as of late, too. In a 6 point per passing touchdown format. Let me see. If I go and I adjust my. Hold up. If I change the number from 4 to 6, let me see if it makes a difference. No. I still have Trevor Lawrence higher. Thank you. Appreciate it. Moving on to Vowed on Film. Says, can't decide in a full PPR between Ridley, Addison, and Reed. Then I will decide for you. I would, if it was my team, I would suggest playing, or I would play Ridley over the bunch. Appreciate it. Alex Turner says, hey, Andrew, Devin Singletary or Ty Chandler? I prefer Devin Singletary. Alexander Madison's back, and on top of it, if you look at the splits between Singletary and Dameon Pierce, it's a one-man show. It's just all, between Devin Singletary and Dameon Pierce, it's just all Singletary, and going forward, it'll continue to be the case today. Thank you. Nani sends in a question, says, PPR, pick 2, Godwin, Walker, Zeke. Godwin for sure has to play. Between Zeke and Kenneth Walker, let me see this real quick. Yeah, I'd play Kenneth Walker there. Thank you. And then your follow-up question was Devontae Smith or Jaden Reed. Obviously, Jaden Reed's inactive, so Devontae Smith is the play. Tyler Baker says full PPR flex. Njoku, London, or Lockett. I'll take Njoku there. Thank you. Anonymous says PPR, Pollard or Njoku. I have Flacco at quarterback. Ooh, baby, 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 baby. Let me think about this for a second. I think in a full PPR, Njoku is just the better play. Actually, though. Yeah, I'd probably just play Njoku there. It might be a little bit crazy, but I think Njoku's the play. Thank you very much, Anonymous. Chris Moraga says, half PPR, flex. Pick one wide receiver, one flex between Laporta, Addison, Collins, Barkley, Hubbard. One wide receiver, one flex. Okay, between the wide receivers, I'd probably just play Collins there. As for the flex option, in a half PPR, I believe I have, it's either Laporta or Chuba Hubbard. Let's see my half PPR real quick. Where's my flex? Chuba Hubbard is there. I have Laporta ahead of him. So it's probably Laporta in the flex and Collins a wide receiver. As for your second question, PPR flex, Achane, Connor, Collins. Between those three, I'd play Achane. Thank you. Let's see here. Creighton Life says PPR, need 2. Bijan, Zeke, Achane, Chandler. I'd probably just end up playing Bijan and Zeke there. Thank you. I don't like that. What is that? Okay. Recovering sends in a question. Says Gibson or Roshan. Yeah, it's Roshan. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ibrahim sends in a question. Says, hope you get better. Appreciate that. Singletary over Zeke full PPR. Consensus has Zeke over him. Then go with the hive mind. That's fine by me. I understand the logic of Zeke. I'm just purely concerned about touchdown upside in comparison to the rest of the bunch. That's the biggest difference maker. 6-point influx. If I could guarantee that from Zeke, then I would have no problem starting him. That's the issue that I have right now. So as of right now, I have Zeke just ranked a little bit lower. Could have been because he burnt me last week, but I think it's mainly because I don't think that offense is as equipped to run the ball as well as they have in the... Well, they haven't really ran the ball well either, even in good matchups. So it's not like they've been efficient on the ground. It's just like he's going to need to catch the ball 5-6 times, and he's going to need to fall into the end zone to be more valuable than Singletary. It's possible, but not as likely, in my opinion. Prolific Max says, brother, you've been clutch. PPR, McBride or Kelsey? I'd rather play McBride, thanks. Achilles sends in a question, says, need to flex spots, Ridley, Ty, or Zeke? In a full PPR, I play Ridley and Zeke there, thanks. Marvin Lewis says, happy holidays. Standard. One running back, one tight end, one flex. Jacob, Swift, Hawkinson, McBride. The tight end is McBride. The running back is Jacobs. Between Swift and Hawkinson, let me see, what is this? Standard format. I'd probably just play Swift there in the standard. So I go Swift, Jacobs, and McBride. Thank you. Barza Gaming says, pick 2, PPR, ETN, Breece Hall, Addison. Yeah, between the 3, I'd rather play ETN and Breece Hall. Thank you. Connor Rudden says, half PPR, Gus Edwards or Nico Collins. Merry Christmas. Gus Edwards or Nico Collins in a half PPR. I'd probably just rather play Gus Edwards. Appreciate it. All right. Question from Tamir, who says Pierce/Downs or Collins. Between the 3 of those, yeah, I'd rather just play Collins. Even against Cleveland. Achan or Reed, yeah, Reed's out, so we play Achan. Thank you. Old J Running says flex Hall or Jaden Reed. Yeah, we already know that. Okay, yeah, so I'm super far behind on questions. So before you, if for example, in the next 5 minutes or 30 seconds of hearing this, and if you have an inclination on sending in a message, I would wait until, and like if you're trying to get a super chat question answered, you should probably wait until I'm done answering all the other questions that have been already sent in before you send in one, because I might not ever be able to catch up before we end today's stream, okay? Just so we're all on the same page, because I would feel awful for if you had sent in a question and I'm not able to get to it. That happened yesterday, but I'm at a pretty slow pace today because obviously I can't talk considering my voice is cooked. Appreciate all the support though, guys. Thank you. Okay. So for right now, old Jay, yeah, you played Breece Hall. Nathan J says, hey Andrew, happy holidays. Ty Chandler, Hawkinson, and I'm facing against Jalen Hurts. 6 point per passing touchdown league. Go all in with the Vikings with Mullen or play Geno. I think Geno's just a safer play. I mean, I like Mullins, but there's nothing that guarantees that Mullins is going to do well. Like, he was able to tear apart Cincinnati's defense last week, but like we saw yesterday, Mason Rudolph was able to tear up their defense. So for right now, I just play Geno because that Tennessee Titans defense is on life support. Thank you, Nathan. CP says, Andrew, thanks for everything. Flex PPR, pick 3, Chandler, London, Kittle, CEH, Addison. Between those 5, I go with Kittle, Chandler, and then who's the last one? I go Kittle, Chandler, London. Thank you. Chase McGraw says says Saquon Barkley or Devontae Smith full PPR. I'd rather play Devontae Smith there. Thank you. Michael Delavella says, okay, I need boom upside for this week. Standard bonus for combined rushing / receiving yards and plays over 50 yards. Mostert, Achane, Taylor, Zeke. Choose 2. And then the remaining between these. Okay. Let's see here. Mostert, Achane, Taylor, Zeke. Yeah, between those 4, if I'm picking 2, I'd love to play Mostert and I'd love to play Taylor. As for the remaining with St. Brown and Rice, I think I'd still play St. Brown and Rice. So I go Mostert, Taylor, St. Brown, Rice. Those are the 4 I'd suggest there, Michael. Thank you. Appreciate it. Team Reality Check says full PPR. Flex. Ty Chandler, Singletary, or Goddard. Yeah, I prefer Singletary there. Thank you. Trey McGraw. Let's see what your question went. Trey McGraw. Trey, if you could do me a favor and just type in the chat, because I do not see your question and would love to get to it. Thanks, man. Let's see here. Jerry Mendoza says PPR, start Cooper or Ayuk. Fighting to go to the finals. As of right now, I have Ayuk ahead of Cooper. Thank you. Let me check actually in a full PPR just in case. Let's see here. Never mind. Redact that statement. In a full PPR, I have Amari Cooper as my 11 wide receiver and Ayuk as my number 12. How about this? Actually, no, he's now my number 10 because Michael Pittman Jr. is out. So Amari Cooper is, in fact, the head of Ayuk in a full PPR. I'm about to say, I checked for a reason. I had a feeling that I had changed it yesterday. In a full PPR. Okay, let's see here. We had a question from Ozzy Reyna, who says Flacco or Geno Smith. I'd play Geno there. Thank you. Big Al 9 says, I need a quarterback. Mayfield, Murray, or Flacco? Mayfield, Murray, Flacco. I would play Murray there. Standard league. So I would just, yeah, that's where I would go. If you prefer to go elsewhere, I don't have a problem with it. I think those other 2 quarterbacks are comparable in terms of their potential, production today. I just like Murray's upside of rushing. Cash Kid Cardi says, Cleveland defense or the Jets? I'm pretty sure I have Cleveland at 7 and the Jets at 5. So I go with the Jets right there. Thank you. 5 points per sack. Ooh, yeah, I'd still play the Jets defense, primarily because Sam Howell is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL this season. Thank you. Trandon Cole says full PPR. Opponent hasn't started well. He played Chase Brown and Diggs. I need a wide receiver and a flex play between Chandler, Ridley, Swift, Sutton, and Flowers. You need one flex play between. You need a wide receiver and a flex play. The wide receiver would be Ridley and the flex would be Swift. Thank you, Trandon. Appreciate it. Yeah, this week so far has been pretty rough start. Like Kamara sucked, James Cook sucked, Mixon sucked. Like our teams are gonna die because of that, and it's so unfortunate that we started off so slowly. So far, it's, goodness, man, what a disaster. What a week. Colby says, I'm trailing in the semis. I need a boom play. Do I play Chandler over Singletary or with Madison expected to play? Full PPR? No, I'd still prefer to play Singletary. Thank you. Victory has defeated you says, Bijan or Gus, Sutton, or Hopkins? Full PPR. Sorry, it's 2 different questions, but they weren't gapped out. Bijan or Gus? I'll take Bijan. Sutton or Hopkins in a full PPR? I'll take Hopkins in a full PPR. Thank you. Zachary Shands with a Z says PPR Pacheco or Ridley. Pacheco or Ridley. Whew. If you told me that you needed like ultimate upside, I'd say Ridley, but I think Pacheco's very much so, like, especially in a full PPR with Jerick McKinnon out. I think Pacheco's easy 20 points, honestly. So that's what I would suggest you play. Somebody else said Diggs sucked yesterday. Yeah, Diggs was awful. And you know who I blame? That fucking offensive coordinator, man. I don't understand it. Like, why have the best? Why have a top tier receiver if you're not going to use him? I just. Anyway, I'm starting to get pissed off. Anyway, moving on. Paris Lark had a question. Says in a guillotine league, half PPR, tight end premium. Is it a tight end premium? Yeah, it is a tight end premium and a half PPR. Okay, cool. My running back is Gibbs. My wide receiver is Amon-Ra. My tight end is Hawkinson. Flexing Kelsey, McBride, or Ingram. Should I swap out anyone in my bench? Debo, Laporta, Jacobs, Pacheco? Wait, what? Should I swap anyone from my bench for those players? Okay, because I'm assuming the Debo, Laporta, Jacobs is all starting already. I'm assuming. So for right now, Paris, under the assumption that like Debo's, well, maybe he's not starting. I don't know how your guillotine league works. What is this new report? Let's see here real quick. Tannehill starting. Chigozimo Okonkwo is active. Yeah. What does it say? This one is okay. Cool. No problem there. So, under the assumption that, well, let's say they're not. Let's say Gibbs is your starting running back. Amon-Ra is your starting wide receiver. Hawkinson's your tight end. And you're flexing Kelsey, McBride, and Ingram. Holy sh! Okay, so this is the thing that I would change. Paris, I would prefer to play Debo over Kelsey, and I would prefer to play Pacheco over Ingram. I think it's Ingram, like Ingram, as in like Evan Ingram. Oh, because it's oh, I see why you're playing 3 tight ends. It's because it's the. Never mind. Keep it as is. Fire it up. You're good because it's the premium. You're good, Paris. Thank you. Sorry for the confusion. And now one of my ears is lost its mind and I can't even hear out of it. It's okay. Luckily, I don't need to hear. You guys just need to hear me. Gage Myers. Ridley or God, this is awful. This is so bad. So bad. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is so bad. Okay. I gotta slow down. I gotta be careful. All right, where were we at? Gage Meyer said Ridley or Chandler. I'm playing Ridley. Bruce Cowdery says follow up, full PPR, Singletary, Connor, Hubbard, Chandler. If I'm playing one of those, I'm playing Hubbard. Dylan Tyler says Kirchhoff flu game. Feel better soon. Standard Adams or Chuba. I'll take Chuba. One of these times the camera's not going to turn back on because I'm just going to be in complete shambles. Okay, Chris Moraga has sent in a follow-up. Says half PPR, Hawkinson or Laporta. I'd rather play Laporta. And should I flex one over Barkley or Hubbard? No. Actually, yeah, I would feel perfectly comfortable playing Laporta, Hawkinson, and Hubbard there, and I would bench for Barkley. Honestly, I feel comfortable with that. Also, PPR, pick one wide receiver, one flex. Achane, Connor, Godwin, Collins. The wide receiver is Godwin. The flex is Achane. Thanks. Jarvis sends in a question. It says, full PPR, Bijan or Waddle. Let me check my rankings. Where's Bijan here? Why can't I see his name? Maybe if I control F function, Bijan. I have Waddle ahead of Bijan today in a full PPR. Thank you. Carlos Lori says, full PPR. Sorry, happy holidays. I need two wide receivers and a flex in a full PPR. Two wide receivers, one flex. Ridley, Sutton, Addison, London. Ridley, Sutton, Addison, London. Okay, so between those four, we need two wide receivers. I would play Ridley and Sutton. As for the potential flex, you can either add Connor, Javonte Chandler onto the list. I'd probably flex Chandler there. Ridley, Sutton, Chandler. That's where I'd go, Carlos. Thank you. Appreciate it. King Prell says, pick two, Flowers, Komet, Dobbs, Elliott, Samuel, or Myers. Okay, hold up. Pick two between Flowers. Okay, I don't want to play Komet. I really don't like Dobbs. I like Elliott. Curtis Samuel's okay. Jacoby Myers isn't great. So between the bunch here, if it's my team, King Prell, I'm playing Ezekiel Elliott and I'm playing Zay Flowers. Thank you. Rob says half PPR, one flex. Swift, Laporta, Amari Cooper. Who else is there? Swift, Laporta, Amari. That's it. Okay, my tight end's already McBride. Cool. So in a half PPR between the bunch here, let me see. Do I have Amari Cooper ahead of Laporta in a half? Let me check real quick. So we have Laporta there, and where's Amari Cooper? I do not have Amari Cooper ahead of him, do I? Let me check. Coop. Oh, I do. Yeah, I do have him. Okay, so that's what I would play. I play Amari Cooper over Swift and Laporta today, Rob. Thank you. Dustin sends in a question, says one tight end, one flex, Laporta, Kelsey, Hall, ETN. I start both the tight ends. I think it's probably the proper way of going about this. What I actually, let me think about this for a second. It's half PPR, huh? That doesn't even say the format. It's just straight up Laporta, Kelsey, Hall, ETN. For right now, if I was to pick let's say this is a half PPR ranking, Dustin. Like I'm playing Kelsey because I have to because he's on my team. But then I feel guilty about leaving out Laporta after what he did last week. Between Laporta, I technically in the half PPR, I have him ranked higher than ETN and I have him ranked higher than Breece Hall. So yeah, I'm gonna play both tight ends there. Flotation Swag says start OBJ or Dobbs with readout. Oh man. Look, here's the thing. I want to play Dobbs. I've wanted to play Dobbs each of the last 2 weeks. I have played Dobbs each of the last 2 weeks, and he has burnt me horribly. For right now, in a full PPR, I'll say yeah, let's play Dobbs and let's hope for the best. In a half PPR, I'm not as generous because he would need a little bit more yardage or touchdown upside, which he doesn't have. But in a full PPR, I'm willing to play Dobbs there with readout. Jennifer Anderson says, if Reed plays, which he's not. Wow, I'm that far behind on questions, huh? It's that bad. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm catching up. Sorry, guys. If Reed plays, which he's not, or Javante. So yeah, we'll play Javante there. And then if not, Wicks or Javante. So because Reed is out, in a half PPR, I'll still play Javante, but in a full PPR, well, hold up, let me think about this. In a full PPR, I want to play Wicks. Half PPR, I'd probably play Wicks still. Only in a standard league would I play Javante over Wicks this week. Thank you. Ozzy Reyna says Gino or Flacco. Yeah, I'll still take Gino there. Mel Bailey says, good morning. Aaron Jones or Chandler? Sit one. Aaron Jones or Chandler? Just straight up. That's the question. Okay, so if that's the question straight up, let me see here. They both have their backup running backs technically active today. What do I have? Aaron, what is it? Is it full PPR? Sit one. Da, 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 da. Okay, it doesn't say anything about scoring format. Assuming it's a half PPR, Mel Bailey, Chandler over Aaron Jones. And then the follow-up question, sitting one between Swift, Montgomery, and Walker, I would sit Swift. Follow-up to that, wide receiver 2, RB2, to flex. Cooper, Nico, Pollard, Bijan, Chandler. The wide receiver 2 would be the wide receiver 2 would be Cooper. The RB2 would be Pollard. And the second flex would be Bijan. And then defensive player, Roquan Smith or CJ Mosley. I've never played with IDP. I have no preference, but I would venture to guess Roquan Smith's a better play. I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. I don't play in IDP leagues. Thank you. Reuven Roberts says PPR Chandler, Waller, Wicks. I'd just rather play Wicks there. Thank you. Tony R481 says pick 2 full PPR. I'm down. Walker, Bijan, Zeke, Cooper. Pick 2 in a full PPR. I'm down points. Between the bunch, in a full PPR, I'd go with Bijan and Cooper. Thank you. William L says PPR, Jacobs, Ridley, Hall, Ayuk, Swift. Sit 2 must win. Jacobs, Ridley, Hall, Ayuk, Swift. Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese. In a PPR, I want to start Ridley and Ayuk. That'll probably lean me towards sitting. My goodness. I'd probably sit Swift. And then I'd probably sit Hall. And I'd probably play Jacobs. If you're worried about Jacobs tomorrow, play Hall instead today. Thank you. Hunter Klaus. Let's see here, Hunter. Where's your question? I don't see Hunter's question. I got to make a list here. Was there another person that I never got to their question because they didn't type it in? Let me see. Scroll back up real quick. Take care of all these. We're good to go. Is there anybody that question was not attached? Ethan, we took care of. I think that was it. Okay. We'll catch up if we need to. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, Hunter, if you could do me a favor and just type in the chat, live chat, I'll be sure to try to keep my eye out for it. Thanks, man. What's the new update? Okay, whatever. Anyway, moving on to Jesse M, who says higher upside, Browns defense or Bears? I think based on the volume of turnovers that the Bears have been able to put together as of late, I think the Bears continue to have the highest upside. I think, 14 turnovers in the last 4 games? They played against some pretty good teams too. So I wouldn't say that they've been walks in the park. They played against some winning teams, and they've still forced a lot of turnovers. So I'd lean in that direction. DeAndre Warren says PPR. Pick 3. Gibbs, Monty, Achane, Aaron Jones, Addison. Yeah, I'll take the first 3. Just give me Gibbs, Monty, and Achane. Thank you. Rika says half PPR. Start a wide receiver and a flex. Wicks, Nico, and Likely. I'll take Likely and Wicks. Thank you there, Rika. Isaac Maximoff says PPR sit 1, Jacobs White. Jacobs / White. So first and foremost, I would rather play White over Jacobs. And in your second question, Chandler and Montgomery, I'd rather play Montgomery over Chandler. So if the question perhaps is built differently than what I believe, it's just sit Chandler and play the other 3. Thank you. Jem, I'm him, says choose 2 between Jerome Ford, JSN, Wicks, Demario Douglas. Wicks and JSN. Thank you. Matthew Wallace says, who has more upside, New York Jets or Denver defense? Who has more upside? I mean, I think it's a matter. Okay, well, hear me out. Sam Howell's going to throw a couple picks. If one of those go for the house, then I would say sure. It's probably the Jets. Yeah. You know what? Let's leave it in that direction. The Jets probably have more upside. But that being said, the Jets defense aren't as almighty as they've, been sold as this offseason. They just got blown out 30-0. And I understand that their offense didn't help them, but you would assume if you're a solid elite defense, you wouldn't get 30 dropped on your head. But anyway, I digress. Joey sends in a question. Says, pick 2, Henry, Swift, Achane, Saquon. Between the bunch there, Henry, Swift. Between the bunch there, it would be Henry alongside of Achane. Those are the 2 that I would suggest playing. Thank you, Joey. Reese 2010 says full PPR in the flex, Collins or Jake Ferguson. In a full PPR, I'd rather play Collins. I think, man, you know what? Ferguson's maybe not a bad play. Yeah, I'd probably still play Collins there. I think look, the thing about Ferguson is, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes the game with 4 catches for 40. He just has more touchdown upside. And that is the enticing part of potentially playing him. But I think in terms of receptions and yardage alone, it's Nico Collins who takes the advantage. Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's see here. We had a question that came in from Dan Sek, who says, Happy Christmas, Fantasy Bro. Questions in the chat get well. Thanks, man. Dan Sek, where's your question? Dan, you sent that in a long time ago, and there's your question's already been wiped out of existence because of the frequency of messages in the chat. So if you could do me a favor and just type it again, that'd be greatly appreciated. Let me see if I can find Hunter's question. Hunter says full PPR, bench 2, start 3. Henry, Walker, JT, Connor, Barkley. JT starts, Walker starts, Henry starts. Those are the 3, Hunter. Thanks, man. Okay. Again, a reminder for those of you joining us this morning. Be very careful. And what I mean by be very careful is if you send in a super chat right now or in the next 10 minutes, anticipate that I will not answer it before the end of the stream. And anticipate there is a potential in which I'm so slow that I will not get to it, okay? Just a fair warning, throwing it out there. If you're willing to take the risk, good on you. Appreciate the support, but as of right now, I don't know if we'll get there. All right, appreciate it. Okay, where are we at? Jonathan Cushman says 12 teams. I can't even read this. There's too much. Okay, so considering you have Bijan, Kyron, Cup, St. Brown, Ingram, Rice. Okay, that's fine. Downs, Colts. I don't think you have to make any moves, Jonathan Cushman. Like, technically, you could pick up the Bears or Broncos defense, I think the Colts are just as good of a defense this week. I don't really have a problem with keeping it as is. And I wouldn't bring up any of those players that you have on your bench to your starting lineup as of right now. I think you're fine. Thank you, Jonathan. Nick Stano says, would you play Myers over McManus? Yes, I would play Jason Myers over Brandon McManus. Yes. Kenny2332 says full PPR Gibbs or Ayuk, Baker or Goff. I have Goff ahead of Baker in a full PPR. Let's see, do I have Ayuk or Gibbs? Let me check. Ayuk. In a full PPR, I have Ayuk over Gibbs. Thank you. We had a question that came in from Dallas who says Ty Chandler or Adam Thielen in a full PPR. I'd rather, yeah, I'd feel more comfortable playing Chandler. I don't know if I could trust Adam Thielen. He's pretty much just been a bag of chips over the course of the last month now. Maybe he gets you 8 points if you're lucky. I think Ty Chandler's capable of doing that and then some. Let's see here. Romeo Connor says Gus the Bus or Sutton in a half PPR. Let me check who I have ranked higher. Sutton is there. Where's Gus Edwards? I have Sutton ahead of Gus Edwards this week. Thank you. Let me see. Did Dan Sek end up sending in his question? Dan says full PPR start Chandler, Connor at running back. I'd rather play Chandler. I also have Wicks and Zay Jones. Please pick two. I also have Wicks and Zay. Please pick two. Okay, so Chandler over Connor, Wicks over Zay. So those are the two that I would suggest. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it, my man. All right. Hunter Klaus had sent in a brand new super chat for some reason. I got to your question eventually, Hunter, but Henry, Walker, JT, Connor, Barkley. Yeah, we're playing Henry. We're playing Henry, Walker, and JT. Thanks, man. We had a question that came in from Matt Glore, who says, in a PPR tight end premium, Waller or Nico Collins. In that circumstance, I'll just play Waller. Considering a 1.5 points per reception, yeah, I'll just take Waller there. One of his receptions is equal to, he needs to get himself a reception and 5 yards guaranteed every time. It's not even fair. I'll just take Darren Waller there. Thank you. All right, after Matt Glore, we took care of Romeo. Tim James, thank you, Tim. Says, hope you're feeling better for Christmas. No, my Christmas is ruined. It is what it is. Should I stick? My Christmas is literally all I want for Christmas is for everybody to win fantasy championships. That's it. That's all I asked for this year from Santa. Everybody in this chat to win a mother effing fantasy championship. So we'll see if he delivers. Should I stick out with Jacobs or pivot to Scott/Gainwell? Or just throw in Spears and call it a day? Nah, you're sticking it out with Jacobs. Thank you, Tim. Auntie Slayer says, Andrew, we're here. Second league in the semifinals. One more week to the chip. Thanks for sharing the knowledge again. Appreciate it. Thank you, Auntie Slayer. Appreciate it. Sending it says, should I start Chandler or hope Jacobs plays? Nah, you should play or just wait for Jacobs to play. I think there's enough of a significant gap to where as long as you have Zamir White as well. If you don't have Zamir White and you don't have the safety, then you could just play Chandler. But otherwise, if you have the potential, just hold on. Be patient with it and wait for him tomorrow. Okay. All right. So after sending its question, I think Andrew Montoya said you missed my super chat. I haven't even gotten to it yet. I'm not even there yet, Andrew. I'll get there. So yeah, for right now, sending it, play Jacobs. Thank you. Duro Modi says, what's up, Andrew? 2-part question for you. Achane or Chandler? I'll take Achane over Chandler. 12-man PPR, 2 flex options. Also, Wicks or Collins for a single flex league. I'll take Wicks over Collins. Thank you. Stephen Bowman sends in a question. Thank you, Stephen, again. It's very generous of you. Andrew, could you send my lineup? We have Allen at quarterback. Yeah, so he should have already started last night. Kamara, Aaron Jones, Walker. Okay, let me copy paste this real quick because I don't really want to read it all out. Notepad. All right, so let me see here. Okay, start one quarterback, Allen. Start two running backs, Walker and Gibbs. Start three wide receivers, Hill, Adams, and Wicks. Start one tight end, Laporta. Start two flex wide receiver / running backs. I would probably end up taking Chandler and Aaron Jones there. Thank you. Appreciate it, Steven. Rocky sends in a question. Says DeAndre Swift, Garrett Wilson, Waddle, 6-man full PPR. I'll take Waddle there. Paul says, hey, Andrew, full PPR. Gibson or Wicks? I'll take Wicks. Thank you. Georgia Carlos says, pick two. Achane, Ty Chandler, Wicks, OBJ, and London. Achane, Wicks. BRB. Okay, I'm ready to go. All right, let's see here. So, yeah, Rocky, I'll take Waddle there. Paul, I'll take Wicks there. Georgia, I'll take Wicks and Achane. John Aguilar says, full PPR, Mahomes at quarterback. Crazy question, but Njoku over Kelsey. I have Brees left in my flex. Njoku or Chandler over Brees. I would rather play Njoku over Brees, but I would play Brees over Chandler. Does that make sense, John? So I prefer Njoku over Chandler and Brees over Chandler. If I was to pick between Brees Hall and Njoku, I'd rather play Njoku today. Thank you. That on film says full PPR semis. Be crazy and start Baker over Mahomes. Projected 136 to 199 win. ROT Lamb. Puka, Hall, Ty. I'm okay with that, Vowed. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine by me. Yeah, that works. I think your team is strong enough and they've played well enough to where you're fine. I don't mind that quarterback switch. Jason Somers says full PPR, Laporta or David Montgomery. I have Laporta over David Montgomery in a full PPR. Thank you. El Blue Demon says Ayuk or ETN in the flex. Let me check who I have ranked higher in both formats. Ayuk is ahead of ETN in both. Thank you. Let me see here. Okay. Where are we at here? Redify says, thanks for all that you've done this year. Even when he's sick. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Redify. O'Brien sends in a question. Says, Wicks are likely in the flex. Ooh, let me check this real quick. So Wicks is now there. So in comparison, if I go Wicks, and this is what is this format question? It's a half PPR. Control F, likely. That's where I have likely. Yeah, I have likely ahead of him still. Yeah, so I'll take Isaiah Likely there. Thank you. Okay, we had a question from Babs. Thank you, Babs. It says Hall or Waddle in the flex half PPR. I prefer Waddle. Thank you. Justin says full PPR. Singletary, Swift, Zeke. In a full PPR, just give me Singletary and Zeke. Thank you. Jojo Griso, 27. Let's see here. Where's your question, Jojo? Jojo, I know you sent that in a while back. Do me a favor and just type out a question in the chat so I can answer it. Thanks, man. David A says, Merry Christmas. 2 running backs, 1 flex. Pollard, Barkley, Aaron Jones, Devontae Smith. Pollard is running back 1. Barkley is RB2. Is Barkley RB2? What is it? No, it's not even. It doesn't even say full PPR. So it's probably half. Just meeting everyone in the middle. I probably would go Pollard, Barkley, and then I'd flex Devontae Smith there. Yeah, that's the direction I would go in. Thank you. King says full PPR. Full PPR, 2 flex spots. Komet, Noah Brown, Downs. Komet, Noah Brown, Downs. In a full PPR, I'd play Noah Brown and Josh Downs. Thank you. Andrew Montoya. Okay, here we go. This is your first question. Told you I was catching up. Half PPR. Need a flex 40 plus yards. Touchdown equals 4 points. 50 plus yard touchdown equals 5 points. 100 199 yards rushing / receiving. 6-point bonus. 200 plus receiving yard bonus. Chandler or Ridley? I'll take Ridley there. With all those bonuses, yeah, I prefer Ridley. More big playability out of him. Thank you. Ivan Garcia says, I have Kelsey as my tight end in a full PPR. Goodness gracious. This is just more annoying than anything. It really is. It is annoying. Okay, so Ivan's question. You have Kelsey in a full PPR. For the flex, McBride or Achane? Yeah, I'd much rather play McBride over Achane. I think McBride's just playing out of his mind. I have Puka. My opponent had Diggs and Alvin Kamara. Yeah, you play McBride. You're good to go. Thank you, Ivan. Youngberg4 says full PPR. Jacobs or Chandler? I'll play Jacobs there. Hawkinson or Njoku? I'll take Njoku there. Thank you, man. Scott Green says full PPR. Wicks or OBJ? Wicks. Dontavion Wicks, please. Okay, let's see here. Snoopy says full PPR. Ridley or Godwin? I'll still play Godwin there. Thank you. 1023. All right, BRB. Okay, all right. I hacked up a lung. We're okay. Hopefully that helps. Let's see here. Snoopy said, okay, so we took care of that. I'll take Godwin in a full PPR. 1023 Entertainment says Jacobs, Zeke, or Mike Evans in the flex, half PPR. Ooh, I'd probably just take Mike Evans there. Only Figaro says, thank you, by the way. That's very generous of you. Hope you feel better, Drew. Thanks for everything. Oh, that's it? All right, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Happy holidays. Alex Ruiz says PPR. Yard receiving bonus. Okay. Wicks or Chandler? PPR yard receiving bonus? I'd rather just play Wicks there then, in that case. Thank you, man. Joe C says full PPR. Smith or Chandler? In a full PPR, I'd rather play Smith. Azam says, feel better soon. Thank you, man. 1 flex. Alec Pierce, Jerome Ford, Jacoby Myers. Oh, Alec Pierce, Jerome Ford, Jacoby Myers. Jacobs is in my running back spot. James Cook already played and was a stinker. Yeah, it was rough. But that's what happens when Josh Allen scores 2 rushing touchdowns, right? Fuck, I mean, just what a disaster. Between those available options, If it's my team, I'd probably end up playing Jerome Ford. Thank you. Cameron Champagne says, Happy holidays, full PPR, Chandler or Lockett? Shoot. Let me actually check that. I don't even want to ballpark it off the top of my head. Where's Lockett in comparison? Ty Lockett is there. Ty Chandler is 2 spots ahead of Ty Lockett. Thank you. Andrew Pacina sends in a question. Thank you, Andrew. Andrew says Wicks, McLaurin, or Lockett. I'll take Wicks there as the number 1. Number 2, I'd probably take Lockett. Thank you. Justin Wall says full PPR. Need 2. Waddle, Montgomery, Swift, Rice, Mostert. If you need 2 out of those 5, I'll take Mostert and Rice. Thank you. Joe P says half PPR. Terry, Dontavion, Josh Downs, Tucker. I would flex Wicks. Thank you. Ryan Kennedy says Javonte Williams or Nico Collins. I'll just play Javonte Williams there. Okay. I needed to find somebody's question that. Yeah, I needed JoJo. Let me see if JoJo typed in the chat recently. JoJo, where are you? Oh, JoJo? Okay. Sorry, JoJo. Hopefully you swing by later. Okay, so still trying to catch up. I would suggest if you're sitting there and you're thinking about sending in a super chat, you shouldn't, because I'm not going to be able to get to it. I can guarantee it. So yeah. Okay, we had a question that came from Ryan Kennedy. We took care of that one. We'll play Javonte. Risa 1382 says full PPR, 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex. Rashad White and Zeke are your running backs in a full PPR. As for your wide receivers, I'll take Wicks ahead of the bunch. As for your flex, I will take So I'd go Rashad White, Zeke, Wicks, and Curtis Samuel. That's what I would go with, Rissa. Thank you. Actually, if you want the safest play, you probably go White, Zeke, Aaron Jones, and Wicks. Thank you. Abby Bronner says Adam Thielen or Gibson. I'll take Adam Thielen. Adam Monzo says half PPR, pick 2 to start. Should I pick James Conner, Brandon Ayuk, Amari Cooper, or Aaron Jones? Calvin Ridley also have Trevor Lawrence or Flacco. I prefer Lawrence over Flacco. I will take, if I'm starting 2.5 PPR out of these names, I'll take Ayuk, and I will take Amari Cooper. Thank you. Trey McGraw says, full PPR, 1 wide receiver, 1 flex, Waddle, DK, JT. The wide receivers Waddle, and the flex is Jonathan Taylor. Thank you. Jonathan Chetty says, feel better, player. Thank you. Pick 2 in a full PPR. Pollard, Saquon, Pacheco, Waddle. Pacheco and Waddle. Thank you. 1 second. BRB. What a disaster, huh? I apologize, guys. This is rough. This is rough for me to just do, much less I can imagine how terrible of a watch this is. I apologize, man. Sorry. This is bad. I'm just trying to help. That's all I'm here for. Try to help you guys. Here we go. We had a question that came from Adam Monzo. I think we took care of that one. We did. We took care of McGraw, Jonathan Chetty. We took care of Dior Kev. PPR flex, Monty, Henry, Rice, DJ Moore. Wide receivers are Cup and Hill. Running backs are Kyron Williams and Taylor. Need most guaranteed points. Stay hydrated, feel better. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. The best play out of the bunch there is either DJ Moore or Rice. I prefer Rice this week. Walker 5330 says happy playoffs, Andrew. Pick 3: Nico Collins, Ridley, Godwin, Addison. Also Trevor Lawrence or Geno Smith. Thanks, man. Okay, yeah, between the two, I'll take Trevor Lawrence over Geno. As for the wide receivers, I'll take Godwin 1, Ridley 2, and Nico 3. Luis Castillo says, hey, boss. Defense kicker rankings. Yep. Hopefully you saw it in the last couple minutes. If not, there they are on screen. Thanks, man. Okay, we had a question from Mason who says, should I flex Chandler or Ridley? Yeah, I'd rather play Ridley there. Started Cup, Kyron, Kamara, Ayuk. Opponent has Dicker from last. Yeah, you need to play Ridley then. Mason, thank you. Evan Selas says, PPR 2 flex, 1 running back. Wilson, Likely, Achane, Zeke. Okay, so in a full PPR, it's probably like Zeke with Likely and Garrett Wilson. I think that's the play there, Evan. Thank you. Joe P says, half PPR. Flowers, Henry, Brees Hall, Terry. Flowers, Henry, Brees Hall, Terry. In a half PPR, if I'm playing one, it's Henry. If I'm playing a second one, it's Brees Hall. Thank you. Christopher Varghese. I think that's potentially how you pronounce it. I don't know. Wicks or JSN? I'll take Wicks. Thank you. Pepperoni Tony says, starting Christian McCaffrey and Bijan in one league. And in my other league, I'm starting Bijan, Brees Hall, Jonathan Taylor, and Elliott. Start 2 between those guys. Okay. I'm thinking about playing Brees Hall and JT since I'm already playing Bijan. That's fine by me. I don't have a problem with it. That's good. Thank you, Pepperoni Tony. Good luck. Luis sends in a question, or Lewis says, going against the top team, Allen, Christian McCaffrey, Debo. Have Tyreek Hill, Evans, Amon-Ra. Struggling to pick my running backs to the upside. I have Taylor, Jacobs, Achane, and Montgomery. Yeah, if it's me, I'm probably playing Taylor with Jacobs there. If you're worried about it, and you're worried about Jacobs, I'm fine with just playing Taylor and Montgomery. Thank you. Howard Lynn says, start 1, half PPR. Nico, Ridley, Wilson, Flowers. Nico, Ridley, Wilson, Flowers. Ridley. That's it, baby. Thank you. Let's see here. Young says, flu game Drew. Almost there, baby. Not for real, though. Truly respect it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Happy holidays to you as well. Thank you, Young. Very generous of you. Very generous. Thomas says, flex PPR Taylor. Taylor from the Colts, DK or Hall. Yeah, I'd much rather play Jonathan Taylor, especially with Zach Moss out. Yeah, that's where I'm leaning towards. Hold up, BRB. Sometimes I forget to mute the mic during my cough attacks. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. I'm just gonna let it roll. Okay, so Thomas, I'd love to play Taylor there. Is my second best option. I'd go with DK in a full PPR, and then Hall is the last. Cam Levesque says, bench 2, full PPR. Mostert, Achane, Hall, Smith, JT. If I'm benching 2, I'm starting JT. I'm starting Mostert, and I'm probably starting Hall. So I'd bench Achane and Smith. Jay sends in a question, says DK or Godwin in the flex, full PPR. I'd probably play Godwin there, but I think DK's just as good of a play. But I like Godwin's overall target opportunities as of late. And I like his matchup against Jacksonville. Bugs19 says, hit the like button for this man. Thank you. Appreciate it, Bugs. In a full PPR, Hunt or Dillon? I don't like either of them. If I was going to play one over the other, though, I'd probably just play Dillon. Starting, yeah, especially in a full PPR, I'd rather just play Dylan. Starting Cooper or and Njoku. Got it. Yeah, let's just play Dylan there. Diversify a little bit. Chris B the RD says full PPR. Amari Cooper or HN. Happy holidays. Thank you. Happy holidays to you as well. Let's play Amari there. Thank you. Lethal Jake says start 2. Chandler, Wicks, London. Full PPR. Let me check where I have London in comparison to Chandler. Chandler's one spot ahead of London, and Wicks is ahead. Okay, so it would be Chandler and Wicks. Thank you. Anthony Cervantes says Garrett Wilson or Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary. Thank you. Like the Jeans says flex 2 PPR. Montgomery, Javonte, London, Spears. I'll take Montgomery and I will take London. I think I have London ahead of Javonte. I do. Montgomery and London. Thank you. James Joyner says half PPR. Laporta, Montgomery, Garrett Wilson. I'm fairly certain. In a half PPR, I have Montgomery ahead of the bunch. Then it would go Laporta second, Garrett Wilson third. Dorsey 5001 says, good morning, Andrew. Gibbs or Zeke full PPR? I prefer Gibbs. EC says Singletary or Nico. I'll take Singletary there. Anthony C says PPR flex 2. Henry, Rice, Gibbs, Jones, Laporta. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you. I'm trying, man. I'm trying my best. Where is this? Henry, Rice, Gibbs, Jones. Flex 2. Rice has to play in a PPR, and I think so does Gibbs. So those are the two that I would suggest. Rice and Gibbs. Thank you. Julie. Oh, where the heck did it go? Okay, scrolling down. We had a question that came in from Julian, who says, just wanted to say thank you for the whole season. Hope you feel better. Thank you. Appreciate it. Happy holidays to you as well, Julian. Illusionist sends in a question. Says, half PPR, DK, Ayuk, Gibbs. Pick 2. If I'm picking 2 of those 3, it's probably Ayuk and Gibbs. Tennessee's defense, 7 out /1 versus Goff. I'm so confused what that means. Are you saying like there's 7 starters for Tennessee's defense out? I know that they're starting primary cornerbacks out. The issue with Seattle is that there's so many mouths to feed that I don't know who's going to score. I would hope that DK does, but Illusionist, if you prefer to play DK, I wouldn't even bug it. I'd be perfectly fine you playing DK and Ayuk. Just as long as Ayuk plays, it's all that matters. I don't care if you play Gibbs or DK there. Thank you. Double AC1 says McBride or Odell. Yeah, it's 100% McBride. Mostert or Gibbs? Mostert. Thanks. Randy Figueroa says, hey, Andrew, full PPR, Zay Flowers or Ty Chandler or Waller? In a full PPR, I'd probably play Flowers. Thank you. Fishing for Life says Thielen, McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, PPR need 2. I probably end up playing both of the Washington Commanders receivers. I'll play Samuel and McLaurin. Nomad Ali says stand. That's in standard format. Singletary, Jonathan Taylor, Chandler, Swift, Montgomery. If I'm starting 3 of those players, it's Jonathan Taylor, Montgomery, and Singletary. Thank you. Major cuts. Let's see your major. Where you at? Major says, starting McBride at tight end, Noah Brown and Kittle at the flex. I'll take Kittle at the flex. Thank you. Let me see. Did JoJo end up sending anything in earlier? Let's see. Where's JoJo's question? JoJo, you here? No, JoJo's gone. Sorry, JoJo. Appreciate the support, though, man. Have I almost caught up? Almost. Okay. We have about 13 minutes. Brian F says, JT versus Atlanta or Chuba versus Green Bay. I really love Chuba's matchup But I think the offense, the fact that there's no Michael Pittman Jr. as well now, this is a JT game for him to take over. And his body's fresh, ready to go. Ariel sends in a question, says Gus the Bus Edwards or Darren Waller as the last flex spot. Assuming it's a half PPR, I'd rather just play Gus the Bus Edwards. Dylan Burns says 4 point per passing 4 point per passing touchdown league. 6 points per full PPR. Do I start Prescott or Fields? 6 Yeah, I would still start Prescott. I don't know if I could justify playing Fields over him. I think Prescott has just as much upside and a safer floor of production, to be honest, in a 4 point per passing touchdown league. If you want to play Fields, that's fine by me. I mean, they're back-to-back in my rankings, so their projections are relatively close anyway, but I don't know if I feel more confident playing Fields. I think I would just rather play Prescott there. Nick Danger says, coming in clutch with the updated rankings. Appreciate it, man. Do you think Jacobs is good to go tomorrow? Yes, I do. They deemed Michael Mayer out yesterday. They would have deemed him out, Josh Jacobs, if he was not going to play already. So I assume he's going to play, and he's going to play at a full capacity. He's had like 2 weeks of rest now, so I think he'll be okay. Tim S. says, my team is playing, team I'm playing is stacked at any points to keep up. 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 flex. We have Rice, Ridley, Adams, Taylor, Wilson, and Bijan. Okay, so 1 running back, I'd play Taylor. 2 wide receivers, I would play Rice, and especially, is it a full PPR? Yeah, it is full PPR. Probably go Rice and Adams there. And then probably play Ridley in the flex and just like try to go all out. Yeah, that's probably the direction I go in. Rice, Ridley, Adams, Taylor. Thank you. National Champ Rush says, I have Bijan. Should I start the Finns or Colts defense? I'd still rather play the Colts defense because of Taylor Heineke. Thank you. Jamel Joyner says half PPR. I need 2 flex out of Walker, JSN, or Hopkins. Yeah, I'll take Walker and I'll take Hopkins. Thank you. Daryl Bottom says Godwin or Chandler or OBJ. Yeah, I'll take Godwin there, number 1, Chandler 2, and OBJ 3. But if I'm only playing 1, it's Godwin, of course. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's see here. We had a question that came in from Major Cuts, who says, get well, McBride. Yeah, we already answered this one. McBride's at tight end. Yes, I would rather play Kittle over Noah Brown in the flex. Thank you. Alex Fortin says, hey, Andrew, please help. Mahomes or Fields? I'm pretty sure I have Fields ahead of Mahomes. Am I crazy? Where are we at? Fields, Mahomes. Yeah, I'd rather play Fields. ETN, Chuba, Kenneth Walker, DJ Moore. Pick 2 in a full PPR. Diggs and Eckler didn't do me any favors. Okay, so out of ETN, Chuba Hubbard, Kenneth Walker, DJ Moore, if I'm picking 2, I'm probably playing DJ Moore, and I'm probably playing Kenneth Walker. Those are the 2. Gunny says, hey, Andrew. After this, find a couch. Nah, forget the couch. I'm going straight to my bed and going to sleep. Appreciate it, though. Thank you, Gunny. Terrence Templeton says, PPR, Spears or Wicks? I'll take Wicks. Frosty says, sit 1, Nico, Zeke, Chandler, Aaron Jones. Between the bunch there, I'd probably sit Nico Collins. I'll start the other 3. Thank you, Frosty. Revion Jordan says my question got skipped. Did it really? Did you send it one already? Oh, did I really? I went over. Did I have a cough attack in the meanwhile? Nico, Wicks, JSN, Dobbs, likely. Pick 2. I'm pretty sure I answered it. Maybe you had an ad pop up. I'm pretty sure I said I'd rather play Wicks and Likely. I'm fairly certain I answered that one, but either way, we're here. We're answering it. Wicks and Likely. Thank you. Apologies if you missed it. Let's see here. Sergio, man, my voice is dying. What is happening? Sergio Serrano says JSN or Roshan in a non-PPR. I'll take Roshan Johnson there. George Garcia says PPR. Bijan, Njoku, or Devontae Smith. PPR. Let me check who I have ranked higher. I wouldn't be surprised if I have Njoku ranked higher. I do have Njoku ranked the highest. That's who I have ranked highest out of the bunch there, George. Thank you. Flawless says Flacco or Mayfield. I want to go Mayfield. Yeah, play Mayfield. Let's go for it. Listen, he's been playing on fire. I have no problem with that at all. Let's go for it. The only difference, the only reason, legitimately, the only reason is because I know for a fact that the backfield of Ford and Hunt have a lower likelihood of scoring a rushing touchdown than Rachaad White today. So that's the only reason. So I'm assuming like it'll dig into Baker's potential for upside, but he may even have even more upside than that. They might drop 30 on Jacksonville, and it's not going to even be a question. So yeah, let's play Mayfield. I don't have a problem with that. Flawless at all. Fire him up. Chill Will says Merry Christmas. Full PPR. Elliott or Aaron Jones? Give me Elliott. Ivan Ramirez says regular start, 2 running backs, 1 flex. Mostert, Hubbard, Singletary, Achane. Mostert and Hubbard there. Yeah. Yeah, Mostert and Hubbard. And then as for your tight end question, Evans, is it Evan Ingram or Ferguson? I'll take Evan Ingram. Thank you. 2 running backs and a flex. Sorry, Ivan. The 2 running backs would be Mostert, Hubbard. The flex would be Singletary. Thank you. Rod Haven says full PPR, down 7. Play it safe with Zeke or take a flex risk with Ridley for the upside. I don't know if there's anything as a safe play. Like I thought James Cook was a guarantee yesterday. So I'd say there's no such thing as a safe play, but I'm perfectly fine playing either of the two. If it's my team, I'd probably risk it for the biscuit and go with Ridley. But I don't mind the Zeke play. So if you want to just kind of take it chill and just be like, you know what, I'd rather have the guy that's guaranteed to get himself 20 touches in the game and can get himself yardage going instead of the guy who's going to get 12 targets and maybe catch half of them if he's lucky. I don't have a problem starting Zeke there. It's fine. Thank you. Leo IGL says no PPR. HN Chandler Rice. Between the 3, no PPR, huh? I probably still play Rice. Yeah, I probably still play Rice out of the 3. Thank you. Let's see here. We had a question that came in from I'm Gucci, who says Madison active today. Should I play Addison over him? Yes, you should play Addison over Madison. Vic84 says Merry Christmas, Andy. Lost last week's playoff match. Sorry, no question today. I just wanted to show some support. Thank you, Vic. I greatly appreciate that, my man. Happy holidays. David says ETN or Waddle full PPR. I have Waddle ranked higher. Isaac Bennett says thanks for helping, even though you're feeling awful. Yeah, I feel like hot garbage. Hoping that the Bucks and the Jags are a shootout. Yeah, so am I, man. I'm hoping that all games are shootouts, man. Let's get an actual good week here, huh? Aaron Northcutt says Parker Washington, Rondell Moore, Wan'Dale Robinson, or CH. I'd probably put Wan'Dale Robinson. Yeah. Wan'Dale, the Giants receiver. That's the one that I would go with. Actually, Parker Washington in the absence of No, I'd probably still play one. Zay Jones. Let me see here real quick. Really quickly before we have to end the stream because it's about to be kickoff. Yeah, I'd still probably Wandell Robinson there. Thank you. iShine 101 says PPR 1 for the flex. Kittle, Nico, Sutton, Downs. Or likely, I need floor. You need floor, huh? I think dude, I don't know if any of these guys have a safe floor. Like honestly, I don't think any of them have safe floor. I think it's between Kittle and likely, man. That's the way I'm at least leaning towards. Um, for right now, I'm just gonna say let's play Kittle. If you're afraid of the Kittle play because you need floor, I think likely has floor. I think he can very easily get himself like 5 catches for 60 and just be a solid 11-point play in a full PPR. Bale Kim says Devontae Smith or Ty Chandler full PPR. I'd rather play Devontae Smith. Tamir says Collins, Chandler, Roshan. Give me Chandler there. Christopher Coffin says Achan or Godwin. I'd rather play Godwin in a full PPR. Chris, I see a question from a Chris. Oh shoot, what the heck? Chris Valinati says pick 2 of 3: Walker, Ridley, Achan. Walker and Ridley. Those are the 2. Happy holidays, Chris. Thank you. All right, guys. That pretty much covers it. Holy moly. Ooh, I survived. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. I appreciate it very much. Good luck. Happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy the next couple days of rest. I will be doing so as well. Let's hope these games are actually eventful. Let's hope that there's not too many injuries because we're going to need our teams intact to survive next week. Someone said Hopkins or likely. In a half PPR standard, I'd go likely. In a full PPR, I'd go Hopkins. Someone said Trey McBride or Ayuk, please. I'd probably... In a half PPR, I'd... You know what? In any format, I'd probably go McBride, honestly. Like, gun to my head, I'd just take McBride. I trust him that much. All right, guys. I appreciate it. It's 10 a.m. I'm going to cue the music, and I'm going to head out. Do not forget, guys, click the like button before you leave. And, of course, for those of you guys who have already signed up via Underdog, they currently have a promotion of LeBron James 0.5 total yards, or total points. So take advantage of that before tomorrow. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Enjoy your games. Let's hope for the best. And I'll see you guys. Peace.